Ooh, are you guys cops or something?
Something like that. Hey, son.
Wilder?
What is so important that you had to break into my place in the middle of the night? I told you I was done with all of this.
There's trouble.
Hunting things, saving people, family business.
I guess you could say that.
It's showtime, everybody! Showtime!
What's going on, everybody?
Wow.
I don't think Sammy was.
Wow.
I don't think Sammy was prepared for that.
No. Amazing.
Anyways, what's up, guys? How are you?
Hey.
Yo.
Swell.
Swell.
Yeah.
So it's been a little while since we've all kind of gotten together. Sammy was on before you guys went and or no, it was after you guys shot because we had some still images that we were talking about. But that was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Okay, so yeah, guys, tonight we were talking about Wayward Sisters, a supernatural fan film. If you guys have not seen it, you can go over to Braden Timmons' YouTube channel, watch it for free right now. Come back and watch this later. There are some big things that we're not gonna spoil. I mean, unless somebody specifically asks for it, then we got this little spoiler alert. So just mute your TV or whatever you're watching on, that way. So there will be a spoiler warning if we have to get into the nitty-gritty stuff. But we are going to be talking about some stuff. So let me say hi to some of you guys. Lamontre's here. What's going on? I think Antonis says he has not seen this yet. Antonis, yep. There you go. It's on Braden's channel. Braden Timmons' so there you go. David Deathray, what's going on? Gory's here. Raymond's here. Hang on, I gotta play Ashton's clip real quick. I got it here somewhere.
Who are these people?
Hey, Holly, how are you?
Nice.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I guess we'll start with Sammy. This is your baby. This all started with you. And what I find really interesting about this is that it's for Supernatural fans, but you can watch this and without ever seeing an episode of Supernatural at all. So talk about what sparked this idea.
So I am obsessed with the show Supernatural. And I've always wanted to do something with it, and I never knew exactly how until I met this crew of people that includes Chad, and I got really inspired to actually go forward with it. So I was on the train home from Indiana. It was like a 2.5 day train ride, no Wi-Fi, and I said, you know what, now's the time. So I wrote it.
Why not? Right.
Yeah, now's the time. So I wrote the whole outline, and then I worked my overnight shifts doing the script, and it was done in, I think, less than a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty
inspired.
quick. It was very quick.
Yeah.
And then Chad, you were brought on right away, right? So talk about when you kind of came on board. Yep.
Well, it was on the set of MSB. Me and Braden just sitting there one day, and Sammy came up and said, "You guys are fucking amazing. How do you guys do it? Will you guys help me and guide me? Please, I want to be just like you.
Teach me."
Yeah, word for word.
It was just like that. So, of course, we felt obligated to help her out. So, no, no. Obviously, we met on MSB, and she just one day said, "Hey, I have an idea for a fan film," and we're like, "Shoot!" And she's like, "Supernatural." Like, all right, I'm in. And literally, she said she was going back to see her mom and dad and all that and family, and she was on her way back. And by the time she came back, she had a full outline done, And then, like
Yeah.
she said, like within the next month, she had the first draft of the script.
It was quick, and that's about the time
Yes.
that I came on. Like, she had already written the outline. She's like, "Here, can you just like have a look at this? Kind of give me your thoughts." So I did, and I think I gave you a couple little like minor little notes on it, none of that the major. And she's like, "Yeah, come on board." And then not long after that, she had the first draft of the script out. And so let's get into coming up with the story of the film. Because it does feel very much like a supernatural episode, but it also is a love letter to like particularly those 90s slashers. I feel like it's definitely a love letter to that. So the challenge is just as a writer, like combining the two worlds. Like, what was that like?
That was very interesting. So I will say that this pulls specifically from the pilot. But then also there's an episode called Changing Channels where the two brothers are thrown into various commercials and TV shows. So I kind of use that as inspiration as well. But honestly, it was just the love of horror mixed with the supernatural. It meshed really well.
It really
did. Yeah, there wasn't at least for me writing it, there wasn't a huge challenge. I think the biggest challenge I faced was I had so many concepts and ideas that I really wanted to have in there, and it didn't fit. So I had to pick my favorites.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And again, guys, you can watch this without ever watching an episode of Supernatural. Like, you don't need it, but you will miss all the like the Easter eggs and the references and stuff like that.
For sure.
100%.
But yeah, you could just watch this if you're a horror fan, especially like I said of those 90s style slashers. Which there's a lot of great references and Easter eggs to those as well. Chad, you want to talk about some of those posters and stuff that we see in the film, the Funko Pops and whatnot?
Yeah, those are mine. They're around here. Yeah, they're over there. Those are mine, and yeah, I was more than happy to lend them for this movie because I knew they were going to get a nice little shrine.
The fucking Leo point. That's what I was doing.
Nice shrine.
Yeah. So and Braden loved that his Haddonfield Nightmare fucking Blu-ray was touching the Halloween Resurrection. He was like, "You son of a bitch." I'm like,
And see that I feel like that's a detail that only we would have known.
And he's got a thing against Busta Rhymes now because of that movie. And when we were driving back from Indiana to Chicago, one of Busta's songs came on. He was on one of the Tech 9 songs or whatever, and I turned back to Braden. I'm like, "Hey, it's Busta." He just closed his eyes at me and went like this. Fucker.
All right. Couple more people came in. Uncle Filthy, what's up? How are you doing? I think I said hi to Davey already, but hi again. And then Hatchet Boys is here. And yes, guys, before we forget, it is Chad's birthday today. So
Yay!
Happy birthday, Chad.
21 again.
Exactly. Of course I have a birthday clip. Of course I have a birthday clip. Let's roll it.
Happy birthday! Woo! I hope you're hungry. You should see that toast. I couldn't even get it through the door.
You have a clip for everything.
I wish. All right, so this cast of characters here, and boy, do we have a great cast in this movie. So let's talk about the search for finding all these characters. What was that search like? What was it about? You don't have to go through all of them if you don't want to, but just kind of like, what is some of your things? Is like, oh, we have to have this person in this movie. What's some of those that stand out for you?
Chad was obligated to join. I had to cast him. There was no choice. Just kidding. Just kidding. So, it's interesting. It's interesting because as I was writing, I already had people in mind. A couple people. So Chad for sure. I had a couple characters in mind for him, specifically Tyler. He had to be Tyler. There was no way around that. So I wrote that for him, and then Kelly, who plays Claire. Before I even had an outline, I knew what kind of character I wanted to write, and she was the first one that came to mind. So I just asked her. She happily joined, and she's perfect for it. She's an amazing Claire.
She killed it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, straight up. And then honestly, the other characters I just wrote with no one in mind, so we had like a whole audition process and everything. But I will say, Ashley, who plays Riley, and Hamza, who plays Benji, were top picks for sure.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote Benji later on after casting because I had to have him in the movie. So that was a big tweak that I did.
Oh, that's right. I
For
forgot
him,
about that.
yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and obviously not being on the whole writing side of it or the casting side of it, the first time that I really got to see these characters come to life was that first table read that we did over Zoom. When I was, and that's when I knew, I'm like, this is a great cast. Like, you picked the right. Yeah, I got to meet your mom on that for the.
Yeah,
that was
my
awesome.
Beautiful mother. The audition was so fair that I made my own family audition for their roles. Like, I was like, guys, like, this movie's gonna be good. I'm not into this whole come on board because we're pals or whatever. Like, I genuinely wanted it to be really, really great. They totally understood. They got it. But that's funny. I'm tough but fair, man. Tough but fair.
Speaking of tough, we got to talk about those stunts. Our stunt coordinator, we got to give a shout out to Sean. You guys were there on set with him. What was it like collaborating with him and working with him on this thing?
Sean's amazing. Sean knows his stuff. And what I like about him is he's very like protective of everybody, making sure not only like are the stunts going well for them, but just their overall mental health and well-being throughout the entire film. Like, he would check in with us. How are you doing? How is today? Like, how are you mentally? And I loved that. It's so nice to have a person on set with that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gelled so well with him. We made him EP. He likes to cater to like a person's boundaries. He knows what you're capable of doing. He knows where your cutoff point is, so to speak. And he does a great job of working around that and making it still look good, look natural, also being uber fucking safe. There was a lot of times where I had to just fall back, and I felt completely safe with him right there. So yeah. And you guys see a big stunt with him. I've worked with him several times after that. You see a big stunt with him later on, but he's awesome. He's amazing.
And Sammy, shooting in your hometown in Indiana, what was going back there, bringing everyone there, and shooting the film there, and kind of just what was that whole thing like for you?
So, shut up, Chad. We were fortunate enough to raise a really like healthy Indiegogo.
Thank you guys, by the way.
Of course, with the help of you, Chris, as well. So thank you for your assistance with that. That I was able to offer some kind of assistance for everyone to be able to get over to Indiana. Honestly, I think it was just a mix of the cast was really great and just, I don't know, supportive of each other. I had my friends and family back home that were so interested and gung-ho in helping us, and they really
and supportive,
they helped out a lot. So I'm very fortunate that friends and family assisted with that. But honestly, it was tough, but because we were all supportive of each other, we made it worthwhile.
And I'm so lovable. Her family loves the hell out of me now. So
they've like unofficially officially adopted him. I have a new brother.
Pretty much. So Chad, that brings me to you. You play 3 separate characters in this movie. Now, here's an interesting question for you. Which one was the most fun to shoot on set, and then which is your favorite performance of the 3 in the final film?
That's a good question.
Which one was most fun? I would say that's a toss-up between the clown and Tyler, because they were both fun in very different ways. Obviously, the clown was a lot more of what I'm used to doing. But
that's what Chad does on Friday nights. Yeah, when he's not on camera.
Normal
Yeah,
day for Chad.
I team up with Taz and we go to the haunted drive-through. So, um, um, shout out to Taz. And Tyler was just something completely different. Obviously, I've never done anything like that. I've just pretty much played psychopaths, serial killers, and a very questionable police officer in one. So it was very, very refreshing to play someone like Tyler, a scared little bitch whose little sister Bree is tougher than he is. So
And who reps the baby one more time t-shirt like a champ.
Yes.
Hey, Brittany,
Yes. Britney
bitch.
Spears.
Brittany, bitch.
I've now called Chad Chadney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. And Ashton says the clown suit Chad perfectly. I'm kidding, Chad. No, you're not.
No, you're not, because it did.
It did though.
Talk about the laugh, though. I gotta say, I love that laugh, the clown laugh.
Oh fuck!
Like, what go after there was like, were you given any direction of like, maybe you should try it like this? Like, to Sammy, I'm sure, did you have any input, or did you just let Chad just do whatever?
Creative freedom. I didn't care,
freedom.
honestly. Yeah, I trusted him.
Yeah, she trusted me. I did get a little bit of direction, which was odd, but yeah, it was just it was mostly me. But the little direction I got,
Work with it, mesh it
Yeah,
into his own creative aspects. Yeah,
pretty
and
much.
it turned out beautifully. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I want to talk about Kelly for
when we were filming with Nestor and Sarah, though. I felt goofy as hell, but
I bet.
Well, you were goofy, but that was like the whole point.
Exactly.
I'm like pulling on my fucking suspenders. I don't know. I just went with it. I don't know where it came from. I was just like,
For me, it was the flipping off on the chin.
For me, it was just the first smile where he's like, that's what, like,
Zach
'cause he held that for a minute.
I bet Zach
Loved
doesn't
it.
have it, but if we did have it, it would have gone in the gag reel. There's a part where I go down to put the gun in Nestor's mouth, and I turn around and just stare at Zach, and you can hear him in the video. I fucking hate him.
I did not.
That
know
sounds about right.
Exactly.
But yeah, we did mention Kelly earlier. I want to talk about Kelly. She, my God, like, is there anything this woman can't do? She was so helpful off screen as well, right? Right, Sammy?
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I dubbed her Mama Bear because she did not tolerate nonsense.
Good.
No nonsense for her, which is fantastic because when I am trying to rally the troops, also trying to work on my own acting, my own roles, I can't be everywhere at once. She was, I mean, honestly, Chad, Kelly, and Sean were like a pair of second eyes, but Kelly was like, I am nipping everything. Like, there is no drama, no nonsense. So she is Mama Bear.
Yeah.
That's right. And the role of Claire was written for her. So, I mean, I know the answer to this, but for the people who don't, how much of the Claire character was on the page and how much did Kelly add on to it in the performance?
So, okay, Kelly definitely added some spice to it. But, like, oh, man, like, in the best way. It really elevated the character. And, I knew
she was having so much fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could tell on
really
screen
was.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean
Oh
that
my God.
was like when she's sitting there during the final fight, and she's like, "Oh, so good." It's like that was her. She was having so much fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were little tiny moments that I wrote in the script that kind of hinted at that's what she was doing. But she really went all out, like that whole third act. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm talking about the clown, I think. Just a normal day in the office.
That is a normal day for him.
No. And then again, we have to talk about the other wayward sister, Nova, who is great. She's incredible. The search for finding your sister, because without that whole dynamic, without that relationship working, the movie, might fall apart. It's a good chance it could, right? So you had to find like the perfect actress to play that part. So talk about the search for finding Nova to play something.
So the casting of the sisters is such an interesting story because originally I was not Wilder. I was Sutton.
Right.
So I wrote that. It was supposed to be like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like kind of vibe. I was like, oh, that's fun. That's so me. That's so me. And our good friend Abby, who was in MSB, was Wilder. And unfortunately, she had a drop. But we went on to search for other people. And I had invited Nova to. We had worked together before, so I knew the chemistry was there. But when we auditioned, I was like, man, she is 100% a Sutton, like more Sutton-y than I am, which is
more
like fantastic. More Sutton-y than I am, and I was like, we have to switch. But that actually got me really nervous because I was like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to do Wilder? That is something completely out of my scope.
Right.
But I think when reading it and when they watched it, it was, I don't know, it just fit. It was crazy. It just managed to just whoop, and I was like, wow, I guess I can do that. Wow, cool. Didn't know.
All right. And it wouldn't be a supernatural story without the baby, right? So let's talk about that car. Whose car was it? Where did you get the car? Do you know where the car is now? Like, talk about the car.
The car, the baby, the 77 Nova, which ironically it's that brand.
Happy accident.
Yes. So for the car, it's actually within the community. It's back in Indiana, in my hometown. It is owned by, his name is Steve. And I've known Steve since I was super little. He used to be the umpire to us three girls when we were playing our softball games. Really, it's a small town, okay, guys? I just blasted on Facebook, hey, I'm looking for like this kind of vibe, this kind of car, or like really anything that fits like a Route 66 kind of vibe. And he's like, hey, I have something if you want to borrow it. This is what it looks like. I saw it. I was like, we have to have it.
That's
Snatch
the one,
it.
yeah.
Give it to me. Yes. So it's just, someone who was kind enough to let us borrow the car.
All right. So, Chad, going back to Tyler, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit already, but again, as you were saying, it's a much different character for you. I thought you did a great job in Have You Found the Bodies, which, by the way, guys, watch Have You Found the Bodies. Chad does a really good job in that as well. And Sammy's in that too. So you did that, and then, of course, you've done a couple Mass Killers by this point. So coming in to play a role like Tyler, were you worried that it was going to be a little too over the top? Were you a little nervous about being like the comedic relief with speaking lines? Like what was kind of going through your head?
A little bit, but once you get on set, it kind of goes away, especially when you trust the people you're working with. Because we're all on the same level. We're all equals. So as long as you support each other and help guide each other and not tear each other down or anything, you'll be fine. And so, like I said, once I was on set, nerves went away.
This came to you, huh? And again, I asked a similar question about Kelly earlier, but for those who don't know, how much of Tyler was on the page and how much is Chad Sumner?
It's probably a good balance.
I would say
probably
so.
A good balance. Yeah. Probably a good balance.
Ashton says, when Tyler said nope and closed the closet door, asked me. What got me? Misdirection.
Yeah, misdirection.
Misdirection. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you leave the door open, they might think you're in there. You could just close it real quick and run away.
Right? Okay, so for anybody who in the chat may have got an Indiegogo perk, and Sammy, can you talk about the status of like where some of these perks are at? Yes, perks.
They're in Garrett, Indiana.
So the shirts are done. The DVDs are being made. And then shipping out the pins as well next week. So we had to wait for some of the things to finish production, but also trying to ship it at the same time so it's not a bunch of packages just going out. It's just a bit more effective. So apologize for the delays. We're trying to make it efficient, and they are definitely on the way, though, for sure.
Okay.
I saw with my own eyes. They're getting work done.
There you go. He saw it with his own eyes.
Yes.
Chad wouldn't lie. So
Thanks,
there you
Mom. Thanks, Mom. Big shout out to
Yeah,
Billy
thanks, Mom.
Jordan. Mom.
Yeah.
Mom came in clutch. Mom and Toby.
Mom is, yeah.
Okay, so going into like that 90s slasher part of the movie, which again, I'm not going to spoil that for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. Highly encourage you to go watch it. It's for free on YouTube right now. But so when we get into like the movie part, did you feel a little differently writing that part of the movie than you did writing like this is the supernatural stuff, this is the slasher stuff? Was there like a difference in like your mindset when you were writing each of those?
I think there was. I remember like the first and second act went through with a breeze. It was like,
Right.
I don't know, it just came naturally. And then I came to the third act and I'm like, well, shit. Okay,
Now I gotta
I'm
write
a
a
little
slasher
stumped.
movie.
Yeah, I'm a little stumped. So I honestly, what helped me was thinking of it like as a completely different movie. So it's they are in the film Midnight Killer. So that is the mindset that I took was, okay, so now it's a totally different film, Midnight Killer, and I'm just gonna write with that. Also, I did some research on other like horror films during that time. I like watched it more, or I guess less out of enjoyment, but more out of critiquing to see exactly what kind of the vibe was, the aesthetic, kind of the dialogue. So it ended up being a lot more research than I thought, but it was enjoyable. I loved it.
All right. Now you bring up the Midnight Killer. We got to talk about like what was the design for the Midnight Killer? Like how did that whole the Midnight Killer should look like this?
It's a mix between Scream and Jason. It's a mix.
Yes.
So
There
you
go.
have the dark cloak like in Scream, but you have the hockey mask. But it's like tweaked because obviously it's bedazzled.
I was gonna say it's bedazzled.
It is bedazzled. It is bedazzled by hand. Both of them, because we have 2 sets of masks just in case. And Chad's wife did that one, so shout out to Lauren. Thank you so much. That's amazing. But honestly, I was just like, I told Chad, I was like, we need a mask. I don't care what it is. Like, come up with something. I like that just goes to show like how much trust I have in Chad to come up with some creative ideas because he has some great ideas.
He actually does. I know we like clowning
Yeah,
him all
he
the
does.
time, but he
Yeah.
Chad's super helpful when you need him for sure. All right, I think that was about it for questions. Oh, I did want to ask you any possible sequel ideas in the works.
Yes.
Yes. There you
Yes.
go.
We are currently working on the outline. Chad and I are actually co-writing the second one.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
And like I said before, Chad has 1,000,001 ideas, but I knew that I would need help with this one because there's so many different things we could play with, and it's so nice to have like an outside perspective outside of my own mind. So that's why I asked him to co-write with.
And there were things that we had to change in the first one just to accommodate certain things that
Circumstances, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and like I told her, that's a great way to make up for that. Maybe put in the sequel, maybe save it, maybe it's okay that we didn't, use it in the first one. So, I think the second one's going to be bigger.
It is definitely going to be bigger.
It's going to be bigger.
I'm so excited.
I would probably yeah, I'd probably say that it's going to be bigger and better than the first one. Well, okay, a lot more ambitious, maybe.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I guess that's the better word. A lot more ambitious than the first one.
Yeah.
And not saying the first one wasn't ambitious at all, but
Ambitious.
I mean, because it was. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm sorry. That's what I heard.
But no, I think this one is going to push a lot more boundaries. So
We're gonna have to be very creative with how we do some of the stuff, for sure.
yeah.
Well, there you go.
Or you guys can help us raise 30,000, or
yeah.
I'm just-
There we go.
There's that plug.
Too.
There's that plug.
yeah, no.
Right. Raymond said, that's cool. I'd like to see more. There we go. See, the people want to see
Amazing.
more.
You
And speaking of the
will.
people, Sammy, especially for you, seeing your movie not only come to life, but to watch it at a premiere on like a big screen. Granted, it's not like, it's not the Hollywood, red carpet, none of that stuff. But that's got to be a big deal for you, right? What was that like?
It was weird. It was very bizarre because I'm like, wait, it's over? That's it?
It's over.
Yeah, because it's like you pour like your soul into something for like 2 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there it is right in front of you and you're like, how did I get here? I actually opted for a bit more of a low-key premiere. I just wanted it to be with like cast crew who could come and then maybe like some friends. But I wanted it to be a bit more intimate so that I could actually share it with like people that really mean a lot to me.
Yeah, it was very chill. It was really cool.
It was
Say
very
the
chill.
reaction,
Yeah.
the reaction after it was over. Talk about that.
That was probably the best part because everyone was so giddy.
Reactions, yeah. Reactions
Yeah.
during it, which kind of tell you the reactions during it. I was like, oh, they are like super invested. Okay. And then they'll laugh at some things, and I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was funny. Cool. But I think with this film, we didn't take ourselves too seriously, and we just had a lot of fun with it. And that
everyone
really
was having fun.
Yeah. So especially Chad, but especially Chad.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun on that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited if anybody saw all 3 of my roles.
Yes.
For the ones who have seen it, you see my very last role, who
With
I
Shep.
who I share the scene with. So he's coming back, little
Yeah.
squared head fucker. But
we'll get to him in a minute.
you
don't
could
worry.
probably deduce that
Yeah.
I'm working for him, taking orders from him. So that'll be fun.
But you're so much bigger than him. I don't get it, man.
Tyler's a simple man,
The
just like
bodyguard,
Jason, just like
man.
Michael.
Right.
I play a lot of simple characters. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Small guys
So the
always
opposite of Robert Downey Jr. when he came out at Comic-Con. What can I say? I like playing complicated characters. You're the opposite. I like simple characters.
Simpleton. Simpleton.
I don't like a lot of lines.
Hey, look, I don't blame you.
So,
And Tom says, even though I have not seen the Supernatural fan film, what state was it filmed in? You want to answer that one, Sammy?
it was, I say, like 90% in Indiana and 10% out here for like some
Yeah.
reshoots and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashton also can't wait to see more. So, all
Hey,
right. Hell yeah.
100%.
Really great writer. I agree. That script was a really great and easy read
Thanks,
too.
Raymond.
Yeah.
I was sucked into it from the moment I started it.
It surprised all of us.
I remember I got like
I
halfway
surprised
through it.
myself. Jeez.
I remember I got
I was
like
like,
halfway through
"Ooh."
it, and then a couple days went by, and I was just so busy. And I texted Sammy, I'm like, no, I read the first half. I'm gonna read the other half. I promise.
I remember that.
Yeah, but
I remember
I
that.
didn't want to put it down. Like it was a really good read, and Wilder
Yeah.
was a badass. Hell yeah.
I even told him like,
Badass.
I can't put this down. This is a great read. Holy shit.
Right.
you.
Oh, that Braden guy.
Baby's first script. That's the first script I ever wrote.
There you go. Ashton says you're
Yikes.
very talented. I agree.
Aw,
Can't
thank
wait to see
you.
what we got in mind for part 2.
Hey.
It's really hard to type and look at the screen. Oh yeah, because he had a typo there. I gotcha. Okay, so yeah, that square-headed fuck. Let's talk about Braden
Oh,
Timmons Not a Shep
Brayden.
though. Not a Shep, because I have a feeling that we're gonna learn more about Shep in the future. But you guys are working with him on another project coming out. You guys want to talk about that? Whoever wants to go.
Chad?
I don't want to spoil anything, so go for it. I don't want to say something I'm not.
Put all the responsibility on me. I got it.
You're the writer.
No, he's a method actor. He's getting into character. He's just not talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so are you talking about the Halloween?
Last Nightmare Part 1.
Oh wait, what? Okay, wait.
Yeah, you idiot.
You asked the question. I was reading Dan's comment. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I was reading Dan's comment.
Do you want to read Dan's comment first, or do you want to answer the question first? Okay.
No, go ahead and read
Okay,
Dan's
what's
comment.
Dan's comment?
All right. As someone who's pretty much unfamiliar with Supernatural, I enjoyed the film. There you go. Admittedly, I need to watch it again. I was middle of packing when it premiered. So there.
It's all right, Dano.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Gotta have something in the background.
Okay, so Last Nightmare. What can you say?
Oh, we're switching. Okay.
Yeah.
What about it?
Wow. Anything.
That's
what do you
it.
want to
That's all
share,
you.
Chad?
You know what? I'm just gonna roll this. I'm gonna roll the clip then.
Anything.
Oh, John, thank God. Williams, what the hell are you doing here?
Myers. Is he dead?
Myers has zero emotion. He has no motives. If he sees, he kills.
Tell the town to lock their doors. No one in, no one out.
Coming soon.
Lovely.
I'm excited for it. So, do
you.
you guys have anything else left to shoot on that? Like, what's kind of like the production status on Last Nightmare?
We are wrapped on part 1.
There we go.
We wrapped last weekend, actually.
Hell yeah.
We filmed it, Doc. Huh?
And I was just thanking Darren for the $9.99 there.
Oh.
Go ahead, Chad.
We
Thank
were
you,
able
Darren.
to shoot at a veterinarian's hospital, office, whatever, back in Indiana. Dr. Dan Weimer, and he's
Weimer.
awesome. Weimer.
Say that every
No,
time.
Dr. Weimer. No, Dr. Dan's awesome. I got fake blood in my eye. So it got really, really red and really puffy. So we had to like cut filming short one night because I just couldn't go anymore. But he helped flush my eye out. He was really, really cool. But we filmed there, and it was the last thing we had to film. So the movie is now done. It's going to color grade, then it's going to the composer, and then look for it in October.
Hell yeah.
So
Great in time for Halloween.
it's good.
Hey.
Raymond and Ashton are excited. I'm excited. Jamie says looks great. And like I said, thank you, Darren, for that $9.99 there. Let me play you a clip for that little. know why. You guys remember Mr. Bill? Do you guys remember Mr. Bill?
Oh, yeah. But how did some shit get made? You just wonder. It's like, how the fuck was this made? Who fucking approved this? And sir, what the fuck were you on when you said yes to this shit?
Oh, I wonder that all the time.
Apparently, that was Jennifer Aniston's first movie, right? Mac and Me.
I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't that the thing? That was like her first movie. She was like a background extra or something.
I think so.
Dang.
Yeah. Jamie says Mac and Me. Look, Mac and Me is up there with The Room as my favorite bad movie of all time. Number 1 is The Room, and then number 2 is Mac and Me. Like I could watch that shit all day. Okay, so other than Last Nightmare and possible Wayward, sequels and whatnot, what else do you guys have coming up in your future? Sammy, we'll start with you.
We got Hideaway, which is actually Chad's baby. But
it is.
It is, yeah, it's Chad's baby. We have that in the works. But specifically for me, we are also working on a comedy. A body swap comedy. So I am super stoked for that. But we're focusing right now mostly on the Hideaway and kind of getting that up and running. Chad, if you want to talk about your little baby there.
And guys, like I said, go ahead and ask questions in the chat while they're talking.
Yeah,
ahead,
it's called The Hideaway. I'm not going to say much, but planning on dropping Indiegogo soon. A lot of familiar people, a lot of people from MSB, a lot of others you haven't seen, but like Sammy, Abby, Braden, Gia, Christian. If I'm forgetting somebody, I'm sorry, but there's a lot from MSB coming back. Sarah from WAYWARD, thank you. And it's basically happens in a bar inhabited by vampires and werewolves. It's a neutral ground, so they can't fight.
Yep.
But they have to team up against an invading team of psychotic hunters. So it's got a pretty cool little spin on it. So, like I said, stay tuned. Indiegogo coming soon, and yeah, look for the short. Hopefully soon. Maybe summer of next year. Maybe. Hopefully, if everything goes well.
I gotta say I'm very excited for that because I love a good vampire flick. And honestly, they've been having a little bit of not to get off topic here for a second, but they're having a little bit of a resurgence lately with Renfield and Last Voyage and Abigail, and that makes me really happy to see the vampires kind of come back. So I think the timing is right too. So yeah, it works. I'm excited.
Well, you can't really. I mean, you can't beat vampires. Vampires will always be relevant, no matter what. Yeah. No matter what Twilight tried to do to it.
Good trash.
But seriously, I mean, you guys, people know on this channel, one of my favorites is Near Dark. Mine too. Was Twilight before Twilight even thought about being Twilight. And of course, Bill Paxton steals the fucking show because he's the man.
Oh, yeah.
And I took some inspiration from a certain scene. So, if anyone knows that movie, the bar scene, so it should be a fun time.
Oh yeah,
it will be.
Raymond says a bit of a spoiler, I guess, but
I forgot about you, Ted. I'm sorry, Ted, and Ted's coming back too. Yeah. I forgot about Ted. Sorry, Ted.
Hi, Ted. It reminds me of Pineapple Express. Is that Ted? Hi, Ted.
That Ted. I did.
A bit of a spoiler, I guess, but the pizza cutter kill just made me go, wow, how did they come up with it?
I think that was all Sammy.
That was me chatting with my roommate late at night, being like, how can I kill someone with pizza? So, thanks, Kim, for your collaboration. No, that's literally it. We were just sitting there chatting. I was like, man, how the heck can I kill someone with freaking pizza? It's got to be super unique and cool. And we're like, shoot, pizza cutter, dead.
Yeah, but not just pizza cutter, full on face in the fucking hot ass.
Pizza. But I needed to make it like amped up every level I could possibly, and I'm like, how could I destroy this woman? Like,
And yeah, poor Hanna. Shit.
such a trooper.
It was the character, Hanna, not
I was like,
you.
I needed to be messy and disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Pizza cutter kill was cool. Ash said it's great to have vampire best. I agree. Again, Chad, you already talked about Near Dark.
love
But
vamps.
what are some of your other favorite vampire movies while we're here?
Of mine?
Both of you guys. Yeah.
Obviously From Dusk Till Dawn, Vampire in Brooklyn with Eddie Murphy, John Carpenter's Vampires.
John Carpenter's Vampires I was going to bring up, too.
I love the Western feel of that. Even though none of the characters are likable. I mean, even the main character is a fucking prick. It's like, wow, how is this the guy the hero? But, you know, it I guess it's just the overall feel of the movie. But, yeah. And that one, what's that one with David Bowie called The Hunger? Something like that. That's a good one, too.
Yeah. Sammy?
I'm unoriginal. I love campy. And I'm going to say Twilight.
Hey, that's all right.
Okay.
I'm out.
I'm such a sucker. Bye, Chad. I'm such a sucker for like over the top, campy, dramatic. I'm just like, I thrive on garbage. So
look, you know what? There are two of the Twilight films that I can actually sit and watch and be okay with. Two of them. Two out of the five. The first one I can sit and watch and have a good time with it. Look, the acting's not great. The writing's not great. Neither is the source material it comes from, though. So
it makes a really great drinking game, I will say.
But what I really like about the first one, outside of the banging soundtrack, is like the indie feel to it. Like that was before Lionsgate said, "Let's make this a summer blockbuster." No, it feels very like indie, and I appreciate that. I know Chad's like, I'm out this chat. And then honestly, what's the one they get married? The fourth one? They get married in the fourth one?
Yeah.
I like that one because they break the bed fucking, you know? And it turned into a horror movie at the end, right? When she's all like dying and shit. Woman. Other than that, I can't agree on the Twilight thing. But
it's totally fine. I realize it's garbage, okay? It's just good garbage.
Hot garbage. Oh, yes. Garbage. The Forsaken. I forgot about that one.
You know what I rewatched recently that I hadn't watched in a long time? Queen of the Damned. That movie's still fun.
Yeah.
There's so many vampire movies.
Being a kid when those came out, like I remember Forsaken and Queen of the Damned, watching them, like the trailers on TV and shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I wish my parents let me go to that. Now it's like, damn, I miss shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I miss gothic, like underworld type shit, like gothic.
Yeah. It's got that like, 2000s like music video editing. Mm-hmm. I miss that shit.
Classic.
Back when MTV still played music videos, kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Remember
that was around the time where it was like music for like the first half of the day, and then the second half would all be like reality TV. So they did balance it out around that time. But
I remember the morning block to help you wake up, so I'd watch MTV every morning before I went to school.
Yeah. Vampire is very underrated, so is Forsaken. Yeah, I love John
Everyone
Carpenter's
loves
Vampires.
Forsaken.
Yeah. Forsaken's underrated. Well, very underrated.
I don't think I've seen that one. Movie night, I guess.
Yeah.
Remember 30 Days a Night is the Josh Hartnett one?
30 Days a Night.
Daybreakers is underrated.
30 Days a Night came out the year I graduated.
Wow.
You're old. Ugh. How's your back? How's your knees?
It all hurts. It all hurts.
I'll tell you how his back is. His back is so bad, he's in a wheelchair.
Oh.
It never stops being funny. It's this terrible E.T. ripoff, basically, is what it is. With lots of McDonald's and Coca-Cola product placements.
I love that so much.
Yeah. So his back's fine, by the way.
It's thriving. You know what? I'm gonna write some intense stunts for him because his back is just so good. You know. Next film, you're gonna toss around like a rag doll.
I know we've not really
Shit.
talking about Wayward. Did you have anything else that you guys want to talk about, like Wayward or Last Nightmare or anything like that? Because now we're just
Yeah,
kinda, like,
my most
bullshit.
painful stunt was falling into Sammy's closet and falling on all her fucking shoes. That was the worst stunt. It's like, ow, what the fuck just stabbed me? Oh, it's one of Sammy's fucking heels. Jesus.
Ouch.
Good.
But I did feel bad because we got blood everywhere. That wasn't my fault.
We did.
That wasn't my fault.
My lamp is still stained red. It's a nice reminder. I'm like going to bed.
Yeah.
I look over at my lamp to turn it off. I'm like, blood. Click.
Blood.
Night. Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys look closely in the movie, Tyler's shirt that he's wearing is a Britney Spears "Baby One More Time" album T-shirt. Chad, do you want to explain the joke behind that?
Too many shoes, Ashton. Too many shoes.
Yeah. Just something we were trying to be. I was trying to be a goofball with, and I was like, "Hey, Sammy, should I sing a Britney Spears song?" She's like, "Yes, absolutely, 100%." So, I'm not sure who has the clip. I think Sammy might have the clip, but there's a clip of me at the very end, like bleeding out, singing "Baby One More Time."
Well, I remember originally, I don't know if it was for this project or maybe it was for House Sinclair or something like that. I don't remember what it was for, but I remember we had talked about you and Braden like sitting in a truck and singing it over the radio. Remember that?
Yeah,
Sammy remembers that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. And
I don't remember if it was for this or was it for Sinclair. Do you remember?
We originally said it for Sinclair.
Did we? Okay. I just remember that conversation.
Yeah,
As a
Brady.
joke.
Yeah.
We said it as a joke, but then I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah, so she
You
took
got
it and ran
something
with it.
here. Yeah. So I was like, no. And I think originally it kind of started off as a joke. I was like, yeah, I should definitely sing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, wait, you're onto something. You should actually.
He was just saying
sing it.
stupid shit like he always
Yeah.
does. Like,
Yeah.
That's all
Like-
it was, and it turned into this whole thing.
Well, I like to mix in some really bad ideas with some of my good ideas just to, keep it fair for everyone else. So I had to throw that one in there.
Right.
For
But
Wayward
then
Part.
he messed up and wore a Britney shirt, and I was like, oh, I like the style, sir.
He committed, that's for sure.
Yes.
So here's what I
Well,
think you should do.
He's got a horrible fucking tropical fucking Hawaiian shirt, then the long sleeve Britney shirt, his fucking shorts, and his little fucking high heel fucking socks.
Aw,
You look like a
Tyler.
hipster hiker fucking getting ready to go on a fucking hike and talk your ear
That's
off
like
about Star Wars.
Minus the long sleeve Britney shirt. That's like how my dad dresses. Like the long socks with the sandals, the cargo shorts, and the button shirt. Yeah, Midwest dad right there.
Midwest
There we go.
is great. Jeez.
So, Sammy, have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet?
Yes.
Okay,
Hilarious.
so I'm not going to spoil anything, don't worry, but the opening credit sequence, what you should do is for Wayward Part 2, bring back Tyler and have him do either that dance or dance to a different song in that nature. But that's what you should do for Part 2. That's my producer's note.
He's gonna do the toxic dance,
I say,
and I'm gonna. Yeah.
let's see, who did just bring up Toxic in the chat? Raymond did. I guess Sammy's closet
Wait,
was
is that the one with the
Toxic.
python?
That's hilarious.
Or no, that's the one where she's on the plane, right?
No,
Where she's
would
like,
you rather do "I'm a Slave for You"?
Oh
Because
my
that's what
God.
was my
Python.
Chad just
Well,
Chad not wearing a shirt, only wearing a snake. Like that was great.
That one has a whole intricate dance, but I was thinking of like the airplane one, the stewardess.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
There you
Toxic,
go.
I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I mean,
Oh man,
let me
this
get you
was
the
fun.
outfit too.
Oh shit.
I have
geez.
nothing else. Does anybody in the chat have anything else that they want to ask before we kind of wrap things up and get on out here? Because I think I've had enough of you two for one day.
Now you know how I feel with Chad.
Oh, I know. I feel.
Whatever.
we love Chad, but yeah, I'm excited for Chad's project coming up. I'm excited for the stuff you got coming up, Sammy. I'm excited to see where the future of Wayward is gonna go. Last Nightmare is coming up as well, so you guys got some good stuff on the
Straight to hell.
horizon. Yeah,
I mean,
straight
wait,
to
whoops, sorry.
No, I don't have anything.
All right. Well, I think we should. Oh wait, somebody did want another clip. I'm not gonna do the Mac and Me clip again. Okay, Raymond says, but can he play? All right, I'll play that clip real quick. Where did it go?
God damn it, let's go now! 32 draw! God damn it, let's show some goddamn hustle! Alright, god damn it, let's hit the showers, god damn it! Weiler, after all the goddamn shenanigans you pulled last season, you should be thanking God you're still in goddamn uniform, god damn it!
Doesn't look good, Coach.
Can he play?
He's in a coma.
Answer my question. Can he play?
I don't even think he can breathe. We got to get him to a hospital immediately.
You listen to me right now. I don't care what you have to do. Reggie Ray stays in the game, god damn it!
There you go.
And that's
Raymond.
intense. That's a young Chris Evans. Wow.
It is a very young Chris Evans. Yep.
Jesus.
We all feel that way with Chad. We do. But that's why we love him, right? And again, happy birthday to the Chad again.
Yay! Happy birthday,
For those
Chad.
coming in late, it is Chad's
Yay.
birthday.
Thank you.
This is how we're celebrating. We're hanging out, talking some Wayward and stuff.
Yeah,
But thank you,
Sammy
Sammy,
has a
for
way of
bringing me
making
on
her
board.
friends talk about Wayward or watching Wayward on their birthday.
Right,
So
right.
I
I did
bizarre.
watch it again earlier.
That is
today,
so
but-
true, though.
Yeah.
I don't initiate anything. I had a friend who was like, you know, all I want for my birthday is I just want to watch your movie with my friends. And I was like, really? That's all you... Okay. Yeah,
Well,
let's
whatever.
go. I'll watch your movie.
Right?
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got. Like I
Yeah.
said, thank you, Sammy, for bringing me on board with Wayward. I'm super proud of everyone
course.
behind camera,
course.
in front of camera. Everyone just killed it. Brought so
Well,
much to the words that
you're-
were on the page, on the screen. What? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You brought on board for 2, you know.
I know. I'm just saying. We're not there yet. We're not quite there yet. But yeah, you heard it here first. I'll be returning as my producer role for part 2. But I'm really proud of the film and how it turned out and how well everyone did, and I think everyone did a great job. So again, guys, if you have not seen it, it's just under an hour. It's like what, 54 minutes, somewhere
Yeah.
along those lines. So it's basically the length of an episode. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it is
Yeah.
and
an
again, you
episode.
can watch this without ever seeing an episode of Supernatural, and you can still get it. Again, you'll just miss some of like the Easter eggs and references and stuff like that. If you're a Supernatural fan, if you're just a fan of horror in general, particularly like those 90s slashers like Scream and Urban Legend stuff like that, there's some stuff in here that I think you guys are gonna really love and appreciate.
Yeah.
And like I said, I watched it again earlier, and I have a great time watching it. So I think
there's a
we'll-
nod to Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
There is.
There is.
Yeah.
More than one, not just the Blu-ray. More than
Mhm.
one.
Yeah. Definitely a fan of Sammy's. Can't wait to see what she's got. I'm a fan of Sammy's
Aw.
too.
Yay! It was so lovely to meet you and Ashton.
Yeah, she's all right.
Jamie.
Yeah, she's all right. I think it was like the live premiere when it was premiering on YouTube. We were complaining about something. I was like, I blame the writer.
You're blaming the writer, yeah.
Well,
I
it's
blame
the writer.
Right.
Always blame.
I always blame the
Yeah.
writer. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming on, talking
Stinkers.
some Wayward. This was fun. And again, we got to do this again. Just get together and just hang out and talk and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Things go well, there'll be a lot more projects to
100%.
absolutely.
promote. So
All right, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for me. As far as live streams, I might do a random one here and there. I know that me and Chad have kind of talked about this, and Danner has now seen it. We're gonna get the boys back together again and do another Deadpool stream. This time talking about our spoiler thoughts, because about a month ago we did a prediction on who was gonna probably make a cameo in the movie, who's not gonna make a cameo. The movie's out now. We've all seen it at this point, so we're gonna set up a little update stream and just talk about what happened happened and what didn't happen, and how close we were, and how far off we were on other ones. So
Two of the cameos definitely made me giddy.
Me
Made
too.
the
for
kid
sure.
in me giddy.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, go watch Deadpool. Go watch Wayward Sisters, and go watch the Haddonfield Nightmare to prepare yourself for the Last Nightmare Part 1 coming soon. So
Yeah, but you got time for that. Go watch Wayward Sisters.
you got time.
And then
Yeah,
watch
watch
it.
Go watch
Wayward.
Wayward first.
Watch
Watch
Wayward
it.
and then watch Enfield and then prepare yourselves
There
for
you
fucking
go.
October. So
There you
there
go.
you
Yes.
go.
There you
Go
go.
watch Wayward, share it, airdrop it to everybody.
Airdrop it to random people in Walmart. Yes.
Or at the mall,
Or the mall.
or
whatever.
at, physical therapy, or
Physical
wherever,
therapy.
wherever it is you go.
Did you know I'm in this movie called Wayward Sisters?
On the bus,
Yeah.
disregard the what the fuck is this? Just disregard it,
Hell yeah. Any other
Share it
wise
to
words
everybody.
tonight, Chad?
So what?
Any other wise words tonight to close us out? Or is that it?
No. Love everybody,
That's
especially
a
your
good-
haters.
Why do we gotta love them? They hate us.
But do they?
No,
I
they
don't
hate
think
themselves more than
so.
they hate us. But-
Yeah. Yeah.
Sammy, can you tap any of that? You got anything else to close us out?
Listen, success. I mean, you've reached success when you do have haters, though. So
Yes.
that's
go.
okay.
I like
and it's
that.
okay. So that just means that we're doing something right, and we just gonna continue on our path, doing what we do. That's
Exactly.
it. That's it.
Exactly. Do what makes you happy. That's
Yeah.
all
I
that matters.
agree. I agree.
Anyway.
All
right,
right,
well, it
that's
was-
gonna do it for us,
Oh,
guys.
So lovely to chat with you.
Yes, as
I'm
always.
gonna go eat food because I'm hungry.
You go eat food then.
Okay.
That's it, guys. We will see you guys next time. Be excellent to each other and party on.
Garth.